they've got questions. It looks like most of them got questions and things. Some may not have their question in hand, but some got questions for you. So,
okay,
I'll turn
try,
it over to you.
Try covering as much as possible.
There you go.
So you've already been through different floors. First floor is the executive. Second floor, is, of course, is court and the judiciary. And of course, this is legislative. You can see all the city council members here. This is where they make the laws. And you've covered this already, right? You've already been here and done that, right? You know this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good. So that's always a good experience. Actually, if you see, we actually have all the electronic stuff from the election yesterday. We had a primary for the election, and I guess we have one new at-large person that will be replacing Alahu Ghazni right there. I guess her name is Jennifer Cochran. So that's how it works election-wise. There's always a primary, and then there's a November race for legislative, as well as elected officials like myself. I'm every 4 years. They're every 2 years. What else should I cover here? I am the Chief Executive Officer. Technically, I'm the head honcho of the city. I answer to you people, all the voters. I try doing my best to administer the city. That's my job, these guys make the law on council, and then I'm supposed to enforce it as best possible, administer it as best possible. And now I think I'll probably start taking questions at that point. Let's see, so many hands up here. How about you over there, right there?
Can you make a bike lane on Richland Avenue?
A bike lane on Richland Avenue? We're trying to do that. You're talking about South Richland from Dairy Lane or the park there all the way out. One of the difficulties is it's very short and it needs a lot of repair. You probably noticed all the potholes there. Yeah. It's about a $4 million project. We only have about $2 of the $4 million lined up, so we're still trying to get more money to do it. It will be hard to do because there's so many what they call curb cuts, exits in and out for every, like for McDonald's and Pizza Hut and all the other ones, Wendy's and everything like that. So it's hard to make a bike lane that's going to be very safe, but we're going to have to work on that. So we're trying. How about you right there?
How are you going to make the town a safer place?
How am I? Well, we're always trying to do that. We're striving to do it every day. We have our police force. We try to keep our police force at full staffing. We have cameras on Court Street to look for crime over there. Some people don't like the cameras. Some people do like the cameras. I mean, we're on camera right now, so that's the fun part. But some people just don't like to have to be, when they're walking down the street to see it. Better patrols. In terms of safety for fire, we have a fire department. We work with the Ohio University's police department, so we kind of share resources at that point. I think that covers most of it right there. I don't know how to make it perfectly safe. There's always going to be a certain amount of crime and something, whether it's glass or something like that outside the crime area too. The idea is to make the streets safer by less potholes, better traffic maintenance. So that covers some of it. How about you right there?
Is your work hard?
Is my work hard? Yes and no. It depends from time to time and day to day. Some days are fun, like this. This is a fun time. Other ones, it's like long hours, a lot of work, a lot of hard decisions at times. So it goes back and forth, I think. In the aggregate, I think I like it a lot better than not, so that's why I'm still doing it. How about you?
Is your job easy or hard?
As she asked, it's both. It can be both from day to day. It changes from day to day, actually. I mean, let's see. Monday was, of course, City Council, so that took us to 9 o'clock. So I had a good 12-hour day there. Actually, more than 12-hour. Yesterday was kind of easy. Just had a couple meetings. And sometimes the decision-making is difficult. The number crunching, the looking at decisions and how they affect us and where they go from. Let me try back here then. How about you?
Do you ever go to big meetings?
To big meetings? Yes, we have at least twice a year town hall meetings, which are fairly large. I go to some other meetings like conventions for other mayors. Ohio Municipal League, which is basically a league of all the cities inside the state of Ohio. So we end up with a good mix of city officials, so you can actually network with each other, find out what they know and you don't know, or they ask you things you know and they don't know. So it works both ways. How about you, right there?
How can we create more jobs?
How can we create more jobs? Well, we try. There's an Economic Development Council, which I'm president of. That's a coordination between the university, which makes jobs, the city, and the county. So we work at trying to bring businesses in, as well as grow businesses from within. In fact, strategy-wise, it's better to grow the businesses that are already here, so make it easy for them to work, rather than try to chase businesses down across the state. That gets very difficult at times. Let's see, over here.
Do you know my great-grandpa Bill Tyson?
Yes, I do. He is a county commissioner. I think he's still city council on Nelsonville, right? Or he was? No?
He was, but I don't think he is anymore.
Okay, he's an interesting character. He has good opinions, strong opinions, and I do know him. He knows me. Yes. You can't be in the county without knowing him, to tell you the truth. How about you right there?
How long have you been?
This is my second term. It's a 4-year term. So I've been, for first term was 4 years. Now I'm halfway through my 5 months into my second year of my second term. So that would be 6 years and 5 months. How's that sound? Close enough? I don't know. I guess I could count the days, but I'm not ready to do that yet. How about you right there?
Do you have children and pets?
No, I don't have children. I guess I have pets. I don't know if you can call bees pets. I have about 3 beehives. So in one sense, you could say I have 40,000 little pets, but it's not like you can really pet them. You know how bees are. So I just do that as a hobby more than anything else. So and I'm very busy, so it's hard to do all that stuff. Oh, let's see. How about you in green right there?
What is your favorite part about your job?
Favorite part? Well, good meetings. Good meetings with a lot of intelligent people, where they have lots of good questions and good ideas. Something very similar to this. I mean, this is one of my favorite parts of the job. So this is an easy part, really, because you're all potential voters someday. You all have interests, obviously. I can tell by the hands being up. So this is one of the favorite parts. There are harder parts too, but this is a good one. Let's see. You right there.
What's about being the mayor do you like best?
Liked best? Well, if I was really, let's see. Probably, again, how much people have good ideas. I guess in one sense you could say I'm at the top of what they call the food chain. As mayor, I'm the top executive. And therefore, there's a lot of people who come with me with very good ideas, and networking with people who don't know each other. In other words, somebody says, I have a good idea in this, and it's like, well, this idea is very good for this person over here, and I should talk to them and get them together. Does that make sense? Okay, let's see. What else? None of the teachers have questions, I can tell. They're just patiently waiting here. Let's see. How about you right there?
Is it fun being the mayor?
It is fun, but it's also work. I mean, if it was all, I usually have a saying, if it was all too much fun, they'd charge me admission. It's like it was really a lot of fun. It'd be like a circus ride, and they'd say, you have to pay them rather than pay me. So there's good parts and bad parts. Any job is going to be like that. You have to accept that's going to happen there. How about you right there?
Does some of the crime sections come to you?
Does what?
Does some of the crime sections come to you?
Do other what now?
Crime sections.
Crime?
Some of the crime sections come to you.
Oh, no. That's all within the court system. Court system and the prosecutor. Basically, the law director prosecutes crimes. I don't fix tickets, if that's what you mean. In other words, somebody has a ticket, I can't say, oh yeah, we can do that. Yeah, again, it's separation of powers in the city as well as in the state. So everything that goes to crime basically goes to the court system downstairs, the prosecutor over in the law administration building, and the police, of course. I think I got your question right. Okay, how about you, back there?
Did you grow up here in Athens or somewhere else?
I grew up somewhere else. I was born in Queens, New York, which is technically New York City. I grew up there most of my life. I went to Marietta College over 50 miles to the east here, and I liked Ohio so much I stayed. And I ended up at Athens because I worked at the university for about 26 years. Nothing to do with government, mostly to do with science. My degree is actually in chemistry. So it's always, you can always see, you don't have to be an expert in what you start with. Things will change all the time. Okay, all the way back. You in the green all the way back. That is a good question. I was actually on city council before I became mayor. I got involved being on city council because I was kind of unhappy with what was going on in the city, little things. And I sat in the audience, just like you guys are sitting in the audience during regular city council sessions. You know, realize city council is open to anybody. You know, you could go any Monday night and say, I want to sit in the audience and learn something about how it works. And you can watch it on TV. It's on TV most of the time. But it's actually different sitting in the audience than watching on TV, because if you have a question, you can always raise your hand and say, I don't understand this, and get an answer. So I ended up city council for 2 terms, and some people approached me and said, we'd like you to run. And I really thought about it, and I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. So I wanted to do it because I thought there was things I could do to help the city. And it's a learning thing. Every time somebody's new at the office, there's always going to be a learning curve. So I respect the previous mayor a lot more than I used to when I was sitting in the audience, just because I appreciate the work that has to be done on that. Let's see, how about you in pink all the way back there? Yes, you.
What is it like to be the mayor?
What is it like? Every day is a little bit different. You have to watch your paperwork. Everything you do is public record. Let's see, I can't jaywalk because somebody will see me and say, there's the mayor jaywalking down the street or something like that. So I have to be a good role model. That's one thing about being a mayor. You have to be a good role model. How about you in white right there? You, yes.
When did you become a mayor?
That would be, let's see, 5-6 years from now. 2008, I guess it was, 2007. So it's a long time for you guys, but it's a very short time for me. Okay, how about back here? You. Yes.
What's the hardest thing about
What is the hardest
mayor?
thing? Well, that's a good question. Probably I try forgetting the hardest things because I wouldn't enjoy it every day. Probably trying to spread the money around. In other words, I only have so much resources, and I can only have to make some hard decisions about where the money's being spent. I have help with city council doing that, because they can say, let's spend money here or there. But we never have enough money. You know, that's the thing. You can say, okay, if somebody dropped a bunch of money here, it's like, oh, well, let's build a bigger community center, or let's build a few more skateboard parks. But we just don't have the money to do all that stuff. So you have to just make a decision saying, okay, this or that. You know, you talked about, bike lane on Richland. We're only halfway there. We hope to get some more money so we can fix it, and and realize fixing it means also putting everything else in: sidewalks, pavement, infrastructure underneath. Oh, let's see. How about you in red back there?
Well, what do you think, how much money do you think it would take to help people be a lot more safer than it already is so far?
How much more money? I think that's probably, it's a hard question to answer because you could always, I don't think there's any end point. I mean, basically if we say, okay, to make everybody safe, what would we do? We'd have everybody with a panic button, and they could push a panic button. We'd have cameras all over the place. We'd have 3 times more police and fire. We have a lot of fire. We have 3 or 4 fire stations. So make people safe is always a hard question to do that. We spend, I think, almost $3 million on police and almost $2 million on fire. So we're spending a good chunk of money already on police and fire, much less code enforcement to make sure the houses are safe. So these are the issues right there. Oh, you're losing some of the background here. Okay. How about you in purple right there? You got your hand up. Yes, you.
You were little, did you want to be a mayor?
No. When I was little, let's see. I wanted to be a chemist. I wanted to be, like an alchemist and a chemist, and mix things and they bubble over and blow up or something.
No wonder.
So, science experiments. I used to spend all my summer time at my school where they had a little science thing, and you'd mix all this stuff together and you learn science experiments, and I really liked that a lot. That was where I really liked to be. But I worked in science for about 26 years, so I've enjoyed it a lot. You have to stay on top of that stuff. It's moving so quickly. It's a little bit more difficult. But that's why I wasn't even thinking about mayor. In fact, I wasn't thinking about mayor 7 years ago. So I learned. How about you in black right there? Yes.
Do you help people who don't have a lot of money?
We try. When you say help people, I mean we have,
Like give people money?
not really, no. We're not in a money giving out system per se. We help with the housing stock. We try keeping the rents low. Rent is very high in the city of Athens, mostly because the student rentals throw it off a little bit. We have about 3 houses that we work with Metropolitan Housing Authority to actually have them use the houses. We're trying to set up a 4th house. There are a lot of institutions that try working with that, and we try helping them whenever possible. So it's kind of indirect. It's always a hard thing to do because approaching the people, many people are proud. Many people don't know what they need. We don't know what they need. So, saying, let's go do something, it may not be what they really need. And that's always a question of, doing a goodwill thing, but it's misdirected, so to speak. Oh, let's see. Okay, you're in front right here. Go ahead.
What do you do for your job?
What do I do for my job? Sign a lot of papers. But I have to read a lot of papers. I've got a stack this much right now downstairs I have to read. Some grant stuff, permissions, contracts. Basically, anybody who's working with the city has to sign a contract with us, whether it's construction or we're going to fix a chimney on this building sometime next month, the next 2 weeks. The chimney's falling down, so, we put that together. I can delegate some of that to my service safety director, who I think you met, Paula Haran-Mosley. But a lot of the other stuff I have to do. Essentially, I am the authority, and I have the power to actually enter into contracts, make decisions, and that's what I end up doing. So as for other things, let's see, meet with my staff, make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. Field complaints when somebody calls up and says there's a problem, and I can say, well, this is where you have to go, or you have to, or ask the person who's in charge, why isn't it being done? That's one of the hard parts too.
If you've already asked your question, please keep your hand down so that others can have a chance.
Yeah, just those who haven't asked a question yet. That covers quite a few still. Okay. How about you? Right there. Yes, you.
What job did you have before this one?
Before this, I had a part-time city council. I was first ward right there where Kent Butler is. That's a part-time job. And I worked in the medical school as a molecular biology lab assistant, I think is the title. Actually, it was like chemistry. And you kind of cut and paste DNA. It's kind of fun because you'd be working with DNA and you'd be saying, okay, let's see how this works and that works. Work with different animal models, sometimes tissue culture, sometimes, let's see, fungus or something like that. You're asking scientific questions. And that was fun because it's a little bit different than this because you're working mostly with, in science you try keeping one variable at a time. In the city you have more than one variable, so you have a lot of things in play here. Let's see. So you're still working your way through here, Rick? Officer Rick?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to get through them pretty quick here because we're running out of time here. So.
Oh, okay. Well, there's still questions to be had here.
All right, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Jason. Let's go over to you guys. Let's get this group. Come on, guys.
Okay.
You guys underneath before you guys in. Go ahead.
Okay, how about you right there?
What was your job before you worked?
He just asked that. You just came in late there. Lab technician. As in molecular biology, for the medical school, for chemistry, for biological sciences. I worked at the university basically playing with DNA and proteins. And DNA. You?
Is it hard to be the mayor of Athens?
Some days yes, some days no. A lot of hours and a lot of bad decisions, sometimes good decisions. And you learn from your bad decisions sometimes more than you learn from the good ones.
Do you go through any OU sporting events?
No, I don't. I have occasionally because they want the mayor to be there. I think I've actually possessed now 2 footballs that they've given me on a football game. I gave one to my deputy service safety director because he really likes football. But I'm a real klutz when you get down to it. I really don't have any coordination when it comes to playing sports. So I don't enjoy it that much. I was always one of the last people picked in my class. When they say, okay, you play. I'd be the last one after because they knew I couldn't catch a baseball or hit a baseball or something like that. And no matter how hard I tried. Okay, you.
What do you do in your free time?
What I do in my free time? Well, let's see. I like hiking a lot. I have a little bit of land where I keep my bees out in the countryside, so I walk around there, try and get rid of the invasive species. I like reading a lot. I'm a big science fiction reader, so I spend a lot of time reading science fiction. And I don't have a lot of free time, actually, so whatever I can do, is I try to relax as much as possible. I play a little guitar, but not enough that I ever want to perform, if that's what you mean. So that's what I do with my spare time. How about you right there? No, I'm not married. I've done marriages, but I'm not married. As a mayor, that's one of my duties, is to actually marry people. I think I'm up to more than 60, less than 80. I've lost count. Most people who just want to get married, outside the church or something like that, just to make it a, secular one or a non-religious one. Okay, let's see what we got here. How about you in the back there? Yes, you. How can I make Athens County a better place? That's a good question. Everybody has different ideas what a better place is, whether it's more jobs, better roads, safer streets. We work a little bit at that each time. There's, incrementally you try doing better and better. We try doing more greener initiatives so we don't pollute the land as much. We try making sure everybody stays as happy as possible and not destroying any parts of the infrastructure. Better water, better streets are what we try for. So it's piece by piece. And really, again, it depends on what people will like. I mean, some people say a better place would be a place with a giant amusement park. And other ones would say, well, a better place is some place where I can drive as fast as I want, So there's always a different concept of what a better place is. How about you in the green shirt right there? You, yes. You.
Why did you decide to be a politician?
That's a very generic question there. Two reasons. One is when I was sitting in the audience as just a member of the public, just like you, I would ask questions once in a while, and council would be thinking something, and I would say, well, what about this? And they would turn around and say, oh, yeah, and they'd change their mind. And all of a sudden, it's like, well, wait a second, I don't represent anybody. I'm just sitting in the audience. And I said, well, maybe I should be more involved as a public servant. So as a politician, I realized that to get into politics, to get into public service, you really have to be a politician. And the generic concept of a politician, the basic concept of a politician is somebody who actually reaches agreements with other people, talks to other people, finds out how they think, and make sure they all agree on something to get somewhere, to improve the city, to make a difference. So I guess that's why I wanted to be a politician, to make a difference. I realized what I was doing in a lab was affecting things, but not as immediately as being in politics. Does that make sense? Okay. Did you ask a question already? No. Yeah, go ahead. Ask.
How can you make my road better?
What is your road?
Maple Grove Way and University Estates.
Maple Grove Way on University Estates. We are trying to put that together right now, even as we speak. We're trying to put it's about $700,000 worth of work to get that road fixed, all those roads fixed. We have technically not accepted the road. This is a quandary of legalities. The road has been platted, but we have not said we own the road. It has to be, technically the previous developer should have brought it up to snuff. It's a long involved story, but we're going to try getting that done this year. We'll probably have to do assessments. It's actually starting through council already to do that. Same thing with all the road repairs right now. I think the general road repairs are on the first reading. Council has 3 readings to get a bill passed to actually appropriate the money, get the money freed up. Same thing has to occur with University Estates. I'm told by our public works director, once we start, it'll only take about a month. I believe him on that, and most of it will be repaired because a lot of the road's good, but a lot of the road's bad. So we're going to work on that. I'm hoping this year. I mean, that's the whole thing. Everything has to go through council committees, 3 readings. Assessment boards. It's a long, convoluted one that even sometimes I get the mechanism kind of confused. But we're going to try, okay? How about you right there?
Can you make a bike path
On
on Lurig Road?
Lurig Road? Ew, that's a good question. I think Lurig's outside the city, so I don't know if I can do that. I'd have to talk to Lurig, I think, is a township road, isn't it, or is it county?
Yeah, it's township, yeah.
Okay, so I'd have to talk to either the township trustees or the county commissioners if it's a county road. But then it's a question of how much space they can do on it. Because I think Lurig, if I remember, doesn't have a lot of shoulder on either side. And asphalt gets pretty expensive real quick. So that's another issue right there. I see the students
Yes.
the teachers are
And
coming
guys,
forward.
we're going to have to wrap things up. If you have other questions, guys, you can write them down, and I'm sure your teachers can get them to Mayor Weil, and I'm sure he'll answer them for you guys. But we need to go. We need to let the mayor go back to his duties that he has. Let's thank the mayor, guys, for spending time with you guys today.